Hello and welcome to episode 2 of the Angel Grove Retro Review. I'm your host, Stevie Love, actor, director and teenager with attitude. Except I'm in my mid-20s. Along with me again is my co-host, Robert Bolton. How are you, Robert?
I'm well. Yeah, I'm good. I'm getting a strange sense of deja vu at the moment.
Are you getting a strange sense of deja vu?
I am indeed.
Are you getting a strange sense of deja vu?
It's. I nearly didn't get that. That's really upsetting. Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. I think. Yeah, I'm getting a strange sense of deja vu.
I was going to go for it a third time, but I think that's maybe overkill.
I know. I don't know how smart our listener base is.
Don't insult them. Speaking of our listener base, episode 1 went quite well, don't you think?
I think it did. I've been quite impressed with how everything's gone. What were we aiming for?
We were aiming for 7.
Well, originally it was 3.
Originally
we
it was
bumped
3.
it up to 7 when we realised our parents would listen.
Hopefully. I don't think my mum's definitely not listening.
No.
Do you know what? This would be a really great time. Oh, I wish I had some kind of like secret that I'd never told her. Like, I've got a tattoo, or oh, I'm gay, and then I could reveal it on the podcast, and then use that as a measuring stick as to how good a parent she is and how much she supports me.
I feel like this is the therapy session. Right, but before we go further, I feel like things need to happen before we begin this process. So, drinks in hand.
Drinks in hand, are you ready?
I have today gone for a tango.
Not just any tango, Rob. What tango have you got?
Apple tango.
Oh, I've gone for a classic Coca-Cola, classic red. I am Jason in this scenario. You are...
I'm non-existent.
Non-existent.
I'm non-existent.
As of yet.
I'm green and black.
Last time we did a clink and it deafened the listeners. Should we just do like a...
I mean, it's a can. They're not going to hear this.
Let's just do it. Cheers.
Cheers.
Oh, that was like a dull...
Yeah, dull thud. Like this episode.
Speaking of our listener base, we were aiming for 3 initially, then we upped it to 7.
Yes, back to that.
Aim for the moon and you might land on the stars. Oh yeah.
Backwards. Doesn't make sense.
Oh, aim for the stars, you might end on the moon.
Yeah. Aim for the stars and you might end up on a desolate rock. Essentially is what that metaphor is.
Oh yeah, that's really sad, isn't it?
I've got high hopes for this episode. It's going to be good.
Yeah, me too. But we were aiming for 7. Do you want to know how many we got?
I do.
So episode 1 was released yesterday, our time.
Mm-hmm.
We now have, currently, 35 listeners.
35?
35 listeners. So I want to thank everyone for listening. More importantly, everyone for coming back, presumably.
Weird. That's weird. When I listened... No, we're not going to have anyone coming back. That's weird, because when I first thought about doing... I thought for some reason we were going to get like 23 or something.
Oh, strange.
Strange. It's now gone up. And why... Oh. Okay, I can't.
Should we reveal?
I can't hold up this subterfuge anymore.
So, listeners, thank you for coming back, and we really appreciate you spending your time with us, which is why we're re-recording episode 2.
Yeah, 2 episodes in. It's not like we had a lot of podcasts to get through, not a lot of episodes to get through, not 293, so we just thought we'd add another one in.
Just add another one in, we're just doing this again. For fun.
We had technical difficulties, shall we say. Now, last week, I know we promised at the tail end of the episode for all you eagle-eared... Do eagles have good hearing?
Don't know.
For all you fox-eared listeners out there, we did promise a special guest starting from this week, and we did.
We had. Mysterious Tom.
We had Mysterious Tom, who is so mysterious, he's like the Slender Man. He caused an audio problem, and we have had to re-record. So this week, there is only going to be 2 of us, because we didn't think it was fair to recreate the magic and...
the mysterious magic of Mysterious Tom.
Try and recreate the mysterious magic of Mysterious Tom, and basically lie and have him record an episode that he'd already seen. So we can have him back in future. Maybe next week. Maybe in a few. Who knows? Let's keep the mystery of Mysterious Tom. Okay.
Keep the mystery alive. Shh. So this week it's just going to be us again, which is fine.
We're here outside today because it's absolutely scorching.
Rob, I've got some very exciting news for you.
I'm weighted on bated breath and choking on my tango.
Other soft drinks are available. As you know, I've been quite active on the old Instagram and the Twitter.
You have?
The Facebook.
The Facebook, love it.
And a very, very special guest who's dear to my heart and will one day be dear to your heart has liked a few of our posts regarding the podcast. Rocky, aka Steve Cardenas, who is the second Red Ranger.
Okay.
He's
They replaced Blandy McBlandface.
They replaced Blandy McBlandface. I'm really sorry to tell you.
Oh no.
He has liked 2 of our posts, which means we are in direct contact with yet another Power Ranger.
Oh yeah, because we had, who did we have last week?
Oh, it's just that I've stalked them all for a long time.
So by direct contact, you mean a camera in their living room or something?
Not that far. One day, I think I'll reveal to the listeners how I have encountered many of the Power Rangers over the years. But for now, Rocky's interested in our podcast. He hasn't listened to it yet. These were all pre-us releasing the podcast, so he might retract that patronage. But that's pretty exciting stuff, isn't it?
I think it's exciting. I'm looking. Is he less bland?
I wouldn't want to spoil.
About what episode? Just let me know. Like what?
Well, this is something I thought would be really fun for you. Of the core cast, so I'm going to include the 5 Power Rangers, Zordon, Alpha, and Vulcan Skull.
Yeah.
So that's
what about Rita?
Oh, and Rita. Yeah, good. Okay, so that's 10 people.
That's good. Nice round number.
Nice round number. I would like you to tell me who you think lasts the longest, or who you're most interested in seeing the most of, and who you'd be quick to dismiss.
It's a tough one. That is a tough one. I mean, it's like choosing between 10 of your children.
Your favourite children who you love them all.
Sophie's terrible kind of glad choice.
Can't I just get rid of them all? You're like a bunny rabbit eating all her children.
What? When do bunnies eat their children?
I'm pretty sure they do that. I've seen Worship Down. That's not what happens.
That's not what happens. Okay, so I think we're going to see a lot of Zordon.
Okay, cool.
Just because he's not really there. I feel like they can just have recorded a lot of his footage and just reuse it because he's just a head.
Do you know, I actually was watching an interview with him today, which I'd never seen before, and he only ever met the other actors once, and he recorded all his stuff in one day. He did AGRR throughout his tenure on the show, but face to face, he only ever met them all once.
Interesting.
Until he started doing the cons, like the cons and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, now he's probably besties with all of them, and they all go to the juice bar together.
There's been a massive resurgence of Power Rangers over the past couple of years.
They're doing a movie, aren't they?
They are doing a movie. I'm really excited to talk to you about that in a later episode.
A later episode, okay. Yeah. Okay, so Zordon, we're going to see a lot. Alpha 5 probably as well. I don't think Rita will be a long-term villain.
Okay.
I think that she'll be there for a couple of seasons.
Okay.
Maybe up to kind of... How many seasons did we say there were?
Of this initial arc, we're doing 6 seasons, which is one overarching
I can see her
story.
being in it for like... And you said Series 1's really long, isn't it?
60 episodes.
Yeah, so I reckon... I feel like Rita will get tired, boring after maybe...
3?
Yeah, 3 episodes. No, after Series 2. I reckon... I mean, obviously I know the Red Ranger goes.
Yeah, I just ruined that with
Rocky.
Spoiler.
That was the gimme.
When do you reckon you're going to see Jason depart then?
Next episode.
Next episode. Episode 3.
No, I reckon he'll be there for a couple of seasons. Okay. Like, maybe, I reckon... Well, they were getting paid pittance, so I reckon as soon as there's a contract dispute, they'll all go. Pay us minimum wage. Fuck off.
No. We'll get some other starlet.
Yeah.
You want to be a star? Get over here.
It's like the Simpsons thing where you have Mr. Burns looking to make that movie. He says, "Get me Steven Spielberg." He's too much money. Well, get me his non-union Mexican equivalent.
Oh, that's very close to home for Saban Entertainment.
I can see the chicks lasting quite a while.
Sorry, by the chicks, do you mean the strong, independent women?
Yeah, I can't remember the characters' names.
Kimberly and Trini.
Kimberly and Trini. Sorry, ladies. Fuck the patriarchy. Of which I am a part of.
Apparently so.
Apparently.
A staunch pillar holding it up.
Yeah. I really hope Zach lasts.
You've got a bit of a bromance for Zach, don't you?
Zach's my fave. He's got funky dance moves. He can actually act, which is another reason I hope that not Trini, but the other one,
Kimberly,
because she had an acting experience.
Yes, she did. Yeah.
I hope she stays around, and I feel like Vulcan's Skull will be a permanent fixture.
Permanent fixture.
Or
cool.
near enough. They might leave, but I reckon they'll at least come back for the last episode or something. If they do.
Which leaves us with...
That's everyone, isn't it?
Billy. You've got the Billy.
Oh, God.
He's your ranger.
It's so easy to forget. No, I reckon he'll go pretty quick. I think he'll get tiresome.
You think he'll be the first to go?
I say get tiresome. He is tiresome. Yeah. So though
All right. Cool.
I reckon the pink and yellow will stay. Bulk and Souls could they. Zordon and Alpha because they're kind of. Listeners, I don't know if you can hear that, but we are currently recording outside now. So police helicopter overhead. This bar.
Oh my God! It's monsters are attacking the city. Monsters attacking Haringey Green Lanes.
Don't let them know where we live, Steve.
Or was that a double bluff?
No, it wasn't.
We live in Haringey Green Lanes.
We live on Green Lanes. Yeah, that's my prediction.
Okay, cool. I'm just going to wait until I'm going to cut out the bit with the airplane and our secret location. God, I'd be an awful ranger, wouldn't I? Hey, get Rob, I guess I to tell you, I'm not allowed to. Oh, my ranger!
You would tell everyone you're a Power Ranger.
I would
you'd be
in
like,
a heartbeat.
No, you'd be like Tony Stark when he just says he's Iron Man. Like, I'm a Power Ranger.
Billionaire philanthropist, playboy, Power Ranger.
That's not the line.
Yeah, it's going to be my line. And the title of my autobiography.
So where'd you get the billionaire part from?
From this podcast.
This sweet podcasting game we've got into.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it has changed us.
Changed us for the better, I'd say.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so.
I got recognised in the streets today.
Not from podcasting, because it's an audio medium.
Oh, damn. Do you know what, Rob? Your predictions,
Yeah.
a mixed bag, some of them dead on, some of them way off. Shall we get into the episode?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's rip the meat off the carcass.
Let's tuck in.
Let's chew it.
Well, I mean, we will.
Oh, we will masticate like a mastodon.
Whoa!
Hey,
and it's going to be tough as a $1 steak.
Oh, God.
Yes, I mean...
Stephen, you can't even get a quality yoghurt these days for £1.
Nah. Sad but true, post-Brexit Britain.
Brexit?
We already said we're not going to do a Brexit podcast.
No, it's got to be something that's actually going to affect us in some way. It's got to be current.
Current. So, back to September 7th, 1993, the initial broadcast of High Five, episode 2 of the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. This, I think is fair to say, is the difficult sophomore album of the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
It is, it's shit. I was trying to think of a bad, it is, well, I mean...
Or are you trying to think of a specific sophomore album?
Yeah, well, I was going for Be There Now by Oasis, but that's actually their third album, because Oasis actually had a very good second album, which was... This
is Iron Man 2.
Yes, this is Iron Man 2.
Actually, it would be much better to, although it's a third movie, this is Spider-Man 3.
Yeah, it's Be Here Now by Oasis, which is the third one.
So it's written by Steve Kramer and directed by Adrian Carr.
Uh-huh.
And to borrow one of Mysterious Tom's jokes, it's a complete car crash. Adrian Carr. Oh. I think... Actually, Rob, start us off. Let's grind the listeners. Let's help them out, because some of them might not have had to endure this twice.
If you would like to, you can view, of course, all episodes on the great streaming platform Netflix, who I hope as of next week will be on our sponsors list.
Oh, that'd be great, wouldn't it? Do you know what? Why don't you grab yourself a Netflix free trial to do a month, and try and cram in as many of the 293 episodes in that free month as you can.
Let's do the maths. So there's 293 episodes.
Yeah. So I also forgot to tell you, Rob.
Yeah.
Happy Christmas! In that initial 6-season arc that I mentioned, 293 episodes, there are also 2 films, which I forgot to mention, that we will need to review.
The fuck now? What?
So that's 2 films. They are only about...
I say this, you told me this last time. I'm not... Listeners, I am furious at this fact.
You've had a day to process it.
I've had a day to process it, and I'm okay.
Yeah. The movies are movies.
I mean, either way, it's a life sentence. I'm never getting out.
Yeah, to be fair, if you're in prison for 50 years, what's an extra 6 months, eh?
Exactly.
Yeah. Or in this case, 219.
Either get busy living or get busy dying.
Much better written than what Steve Kramer's come up with
Yes.
this episode.
Okay, so where were we?
I would like you to help the listeners out before we dissect this, because it's the reason I compared it to Spider-Man 3 is it's got too many things going on. I think they were trying really hard to make a good impression, to consolidate the viewership, which they did get on episode 1. It went down really well. And I think they've just overcooked it. They've crammed in too much, and it's very, very confusing and disjointed.
Yeah,
So,
agreed.
Rob, I lay down the gauntlet challenge to you to help the listeners through this. Can you give me like a TV guide synopsis of this episode?
Ooh, okay.
It's tough, I know.
It's very tough. There's a
That's why I asked you
lot
to do it.
going on. Thank you, Stephen. Okay, so names are not my strong suit.
Do you want, should we do a recap roll call?
Yes.
Does that help?
Yes, that would.
So you give me a colour, I'll give you their name, and then
Red.
you can hit it back.
Okay,
with
no,
a
I know a
personality
few.
fit. All right.
Red, Jason Bland.
There you go. Oh, nice.
Blue, Billy Nerd.
Oh. This is my Yoda evaluation. You're my look. Mm. You're bromance. You're bromance.
I've forgotten his real name. I've forgotten his real name. He's never going to love me again.
Woo, woo, woo. You know.
Zach.
There you go.
There we go. Zach, Black, Groovy. Kimberly, Pink, Vapid.
Oh, love of my life, Kimberly.
And the one I can't remember her name.
So the Yellow Ranger.
Yeah.
It's called Trini.
And Nice.
She is nice.
She's nice.
She's nice.
Oh, you're nice. You take her home to your parents.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so this episode is very Trini-centric.
It is Trini, at least for the first bit, yeah.
I mean, in terms of what I'm going to put in the TV guide, it is.
Oh, okay, sorry.
So Trini is struggling to overcome her own fears whilst fighting a load of neon monsters.
What specifically is Trini afraid of?
So Trini is afraid of heights, which is very strange for someone who is
Spends a lot of time on top of a giant robot.
yeah. What isn't? Is she not the pterodactyl?
No, she's the saber-toothed tiger.
Okay, I was about to say like if your creature's flying. No.
Zordon's just a real sadist.
Yeah. Okay, so she has a real fear of heights, and she is kind of scared for everyone in their heights. And at one point, they have to overcome something that is very high up, and she doesn't really overcome it. She just has to suck it up. Really, she's still afraid of the heights. At the end, nothing really happens.
But she embraces the fear.
She embraces the fear. It's like Hostel in many ways.
Not that many ways.
About fear.
Oh, there you go.
There's fear in it. There
That's
we
as
go.
good a segue as any, Rob.
It's a good way of saying I'm a quality broadcaster.
You sure are. Rita's plan this week. Last week, well, yeah. Last week, I feel it was Rita's first outing since being released from the dumpster, and she just didn't really realise to what extent she would have opposition in overthrowing the Earth. So I'm willing to give her like a free pass on the fact that last week's plan was kind of simple: send some putties down, give it a whirl, and she gets quite handily beaten.
Yeah.
This week,
I mean, do you want me to summarise the plan?
yeah, give me the. I mean, it's kind of like a trifecta of awful ideas.
No. She has just one plan, but then last minute she throws a lot of shit into it to do
Panics
with
a
the
bit.
recipe. She panics.
Yeah.
She panic buys. Like.
Is it like that bit when you're following like a really complicated recipe and you're doing well and you're having to keep lots of things going at once?
She loses her step and then she just puts it all in a pot at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Quick, chuck in the oregano!
Oregano. It's only good on pizzas. I don't know what else it's there for.
Or, for our American listeners, which we probably have none, oregano.
Okay, so Rita's plan this time is to trap the Power Rangers in the time vortex.
Time warp.
Time vortex. Yeah. Let's do the time warp again.
Yeah.
In the time warp. And thus removing the Zordon's power and influence from Earth.
His child soldiers, yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, actually.
Which is actually what she successfully did to Zordon thousands and thousands of years ago. That's why he's in the tube. Yeah, he's trapped in time warp. Again.
So she wants to trap the Power Rangers in the time warp again. Let's do this episode again. I'm just gonna.
Do you reckon that's what that song's about? This episode of Power Rangers?
No, it predates it somewhat.
Anyway, Rita's plan.
So that's basically it. And to do so, she creates a Monster of the Week, another one.
Yeah, Monster of the Week.
Monster of the Week. The Putty Patrol are back.
Yeah,
There's a toy spaceship.
Yeah, so the spaceship goes down to open the time rift.
I mean, I feel like we're getting too in depth. I think if we're going to explain it to the audience, we do need to go through it chronologically. I can't. I'm not even expounding my hatred.
I don't think she even understands the plan, but basically she wants to trap the Rangers in a time warp again.
Doing this episode again is quite interesting.
I realise this is going to be like my second Beckett reference in as many weeks, but it is a bit like doing this episode now feels like some Waiting for Godot, we're living it over and over, Groundhog Day style, when will it end?
Stephen, is this going to be our difficult sophomoric album?
Oh no! It's meta!
It's so meta.
Should we just get into it then?
Yeah, let's get into it. Let's go dumpster diving.
So
No, wait, that was last week. So this episode is called High Five.
Why do you think it's called High Five, Rob?
There's 5 of them, and they're all high.
Or maybe something to do with heights.
As in heights, not as in stone or on the...
Although it would help with watching this episode.
Oh, God.
Oh, God, now we give you a panic attack. Too much going on.
I mean, I would go back to Child Rob and just start crying.
Oh. So we start off in the Integral Juice Bar, our favourite multi-purpose place.
Yes.
Trini is leading a Tai Chi class, but it looks quite fun for the sort of 3.5 seconds we see of it. Looks quite nice. Jason is being a jock and climbing a rope, because that's what jocks do.
It is. In my experience of all jocks, they don't like football, they don't like rugby, they don't like sports, they like rope climbing.
Rope climbing.
Those gymnasts, those are the jockiest people you'll ever encounter.
And Zach and Kimberly are supporting him, going, "Oh, go on, Jason, you can make it to the top."
Yeah, it's very like an after-school special. That like you can do it if you believe in yourself, Jason. Go on.
That's quite good, though, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, it is aimed at kids, so it probably is.
Wait, this is aimed at kids.
Yeah.
Not 25-year-olds.
No, I mean, as you told me last week, I was surprised that I thought it was aimed at older than it was, so it just makes it worse for you, really.
Yeah. I'm for a penny and for a pound. It's my life now.
I've spent a lot of money. So yeah, and it's like an after-school special, and Trini, as he is ascending the rope, he gets near the top, and she is scared of heights on his behalf. She is kind of, she's projecting quite a lot. She is obviously an empath.
Yeah, very empathetic. She's just being scared, because I guess she's so scared of it, and she's thinking, oh, I'd hate to be up there. She's like worried mum, isn't she?
She's very motherly. Unnecessarily so, but yeah, she's very motherly.
But then, welcome school arrive. Do you like that little jingle that they have?
I like the fact that every time he falls down, he has a trombone noise as well.
It's quite bombastic. I do like Vulcan Scott. I do feel like they, despite the fact that they do the same kind of thing every week, in that this week, Bulk tries to bully the Power Rangers and goes, you strong man trying to climb a rope, are you? You nerd.
Yeah.
Bullying him for being good at climbing a rope.
Yeah. It's like going to
What, did you get all your math problems right, did you? You brain box? Yeah.
But that's
it's like saying a positive thing but in an aggressive way.
Well, no, but that's a more common thing to bully someone over. Like bullies at school, it's always the nerds or the smart kids or something.
Hey, 4 eyes.
Yeah.
Have you got perfect 20/20 vision now, do you?
Well, no, I don't think you understand the logic behind the 4 eyes joke.
No, but they do now after having the classes.
Yeah. No, they don't. No, they don't, because that's why it's there.
No, but they're using it.
Stephen, did you think you were being complimented all those years?
Was that not a good thing?
No. I mean, I was bullied too for...
What, when they took my glasses and threw it around?
Yeah, they were celebrating. Yeah, glasses, we love glasses. No, I'm sorry. This really is like a therapy session, this podcast, isn't it? No, so they come out. How are they bullies?
they're not very good at
They're
their
really
job.
bad about it because it's like you said about Rita. Her plan failed in the first episode, but you know she's been locked away for thousands of years, or however. I'm assuming thousands of
Yeah,
years.
10,000 years.
Yeah, oh yeah, of course. I've been for 10,000 years.
Opening line of the theme song
Yeah.
is after 10,000 years I'm free. So after 293 episodes you'll be in there forever.
Yep.
Oh yeah. Yeah, they're not very good bullies at all.
No, they're not. They fail consistently.
After 2 episodes, but yeah,
No,
the
but
trend
no,
continues.
but it's just the whole time when like Jason, Blandy McBlandface is speaking to them, he has this look of just, here we go again, as if, but it gives you the impression this has happened hundreds upon hundreds of times. It's not affecting them in any way. I don't know whether that because they're not that funny.
I think there's pity in them.
And they're really bad at it because they start laughing along with it. I think more than anything, they just want some friends. I think they're like the real losers.
Yeah, they really are.
And they just want to join in and have fun. And if anything, the Power Rangers are the bullies because like, okay, you do it. You think you're so good, you do it. You know they can't do it because
Skull's really weeny and Bolt's overweight. They're not going to be able to.
It's like kicking a disabled puppy.
That little three-legged dog.
Yeah.
But I think
like Bulk and Skull.
Bulk and Skull, I think you're totally right, but as a child, I do remember thinking, like, initially going, oh, they're really mean, they're really... Because they do come across, and they're right arseholes.
Oh, yeah, but they are arseholes. But if you look at what they actually do, like, if you're taking the whole sticks and stones may break my bones, but names will never hurt me, they don't really have effective sticks and stones, and their insults are shit.
Yeah, awful. But, I mean, they've actually got quite a good character arc, and yeah, we sort of see that evolve. But at the minute, Bolt climbs the rope, and the ceiling falls in.
And then he has the polystyrene fall on him that's supposed to look like
coughing up ceiling paste.
Yeah, exactly. But in between then, it's got a weird slapstick element this entire episode, because before then, when Jason's at the top of the rope, he comes down the rope and he runs into Billy.
Billy, yeah, Nerd Ranger.
He runs into Billy and he kind of accidentally hooks his legs under Billy's arms and they kind of swing back. With
like a crazy pendulum Miley Cyrus wrecking ball thing.
They swing in like a wrecking ball and into the gym equipment that is in this.
They are fully clothed though and not licking sledgehammers, thankfully.
Not in this version. I'm sure there's fanfic out there if we want to find it.
Oh, I really don't.
You've written a lot of it. Come on.
Yes, I'm XXX Ranger 94. I'm not.
You're XXX Ranger 90.
Yeah, there's a lot of slapstick elements in this episode.
It's like they didn't really know where the tone was. I think
exactly it.
Yeah, I think because they're trying to find who they are. It's just.
Well, I mean, we think of it now, it's hard for us to comprehend in a way, because Power Rangers is such an institution now. Like, it's such an ingrained thing. It's just like one of those things, even if I've not seen an episode of The Simpsons in years, but I can still watch a new episode and kind of know what I'm in for. Probably, yeah.
Totally.
At this point in time, Power Rangers had never been on, and nothing really like it had been on before. So the Power Rangers form and structure as we know it now, and the tone of it is, really, really simple. We go, oh, that's what that's like. But at this time, they didn't know that. So they are experimenting, and some of the stuff in this episode is just weird. Like, we're going to get to it later, but in the potty fight, there's just this weird, overly staged, choreographed Benny Hill fight thing, which just is weird. Just really bizarre.
It's very incongruous.
And even me now, looking back at it, I think, oh, this is
yeah, I mean, I thought the pacing of the last one was frenetic and like it could do with some Ritalin, but this was like on a whole other level.
Yeah.
Anyway, moving on.
This is actually quite important. This is one of the few little bits of this episode which will contribute to the overarching plot as a whole. Dear old Billy
is a nerd, is what I've got written down here. He has created a telecommunications device.
On their wrist.
Which essentially, he could have just bought a radio from it, to use a 90s reference, Radio Shack.
Oh.
Hey, that's an American thing, right?
Yeah. Or little walkie-talkies, you could have had that.
Little walkie-talkies, but
the range of them wasn't very good in 1993, though, so these communicators were bang on.
No, the range of the communicators communicators are fucking phenomenal because he's accidentally created teleportation at the same time as trying to make a radio. Like, I know there's stories about accidental inventions and stuff like this, but this is like
Isaac Newton accidentally invented gravity and we were all floating around and then an apple fell and now we're all right.
Exactly.
That's how that happened, right?
No, you need to look at some science. So do these writers. No, but this is like putting some toast in a toaster and coming up with fish and chips.
Well, I mean, they do kind of try and rectify it by saying that Billy had just managed to tap into the command center's pre-existing teleportation network, but it's still a stretch, isn't it?
Yeah, but that's not really how it's framed in this episode. I like, they can sure retroactively go back, but at this point in time, that's not how it comes across at all.
It does seem that Billy just stumbled. So he gets these little watches which they just want to communicate with each other, which, to be fair, very useful.
Smart.
I mean, help, I'm being attacked by a big monster thing.
I'm wondering how they're going to overcome mobile phones and the need for them with mobile phones and whatnot in the new Power Rangers movie.
I've been thinking about this myself, because
it's the problem with, like, when you're rebooting something that's very period and then you've got all this new technology. Are you going to just ignore that? Like,
because the communicators are like a staple of them. Like, they have these little wrist communicators for the entire time they're working on watches. This whole 6 years they keep those communicators and they pass them on. And they're like a staple of the branch, but yeah, they're kind of redundant now. Actually, Apple, when they released the Apple Watch, they did do a little TV spot with all these different things for science fiction and different forms of television shows, and they had a Power Rangers communicator and it played the theme tune and stuff, and it's awesome. That's the reason I want an Apple Watch, just so I can set the boop, 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 ringtone, so I can look at my watch and be like, hey, come in, Rob.
The thing the listeners don't realise, though, is that you already have that ringtone on your phone.
There was this one time I was in a lecture and I hadn't put my phone on silent, and it's quite obnoxiously loud, I would say, in the middle of a really important lecture, and then I got like quite a few texts after that people knew it was me, and one of them was go awkward ringtone, which I always thought was quite good.
It sounds kind of like Kim Possible.
This predates Kim Possible. Everyone always says this and makes me very annoyed.
I know, but it still does.
I don't know Kim Possible. Cheap knockoff artist, that's what I say.
I mean, not really. I mean,
cheap knockoff artist.
I've got younger brothers, so they used to watch Kim Possible, and it's quite fun.
What is Kim Possible?
She's like a she's kind of.
Sounds boring. Don't like
I
her.
haven't told you yet. Shut the fuck up. She's a teenage spy.
Teenage spy, but like a teenage superhero acting in secret. Spies in secret.
That's a stretch.
Anyway, we get Billy accidentally transports them to a command centre, and they all fall on
Before that,
yeah.
there is we've missed the most important invention of the episode,
God.
which
I do
is
love
the
this.
lingo. So this is the first occurrence of the word morphenominal. So it's like morph and phenomenal, but together in one word. So like morphine-ominal, which is what I needed after watching this episode. I need a shit ton of morphine
Well,
to send me into a coma.
Couldn't have it in Malaysia, mate, because they bloody banned the Power Rangers because they thought it was going to promote morphine addiction in young kids. Which, they've seen an episode, not the message. The message is, beat up people you have problems with, get your gang of your mates and beat them up. Maybe I need to watch it again.
I don't think you do need to watch it again. You've wasted a lot of your life. So just before they'll put the watch, they touch them, and rather than communicating with each other, they accidentally teleport to Zordon's place on top, and they all land in a very awkward pile on top of Alpha 5, the Mexican cleaner.
It's really actually quite lucky. Of all the places they could have accidentally teleported to, it's a good job that they teleported to their base.
Well, I mean, yeah, actually.
What if they teleported
into space?
Into space?
Just suffocate.
Into the 1930s?
That's not teleportation, that's time travel.
Oh, damn. Which they may or may not do in a future episode. Anyway.
Fun,
wouldn't it?
That'll be a thing, I'm sure. Before that, where were we?
They've all teleported on top of Alpha 5, who is weirdly talking in jive in this episode. And
yes,
so watching too much TV, what does he like?
Yeah, he greets them by saying, "What brings you to the hood?" No.
No. I'm glad that even they in the show sandbag it though.
Yeah.
What about this guy?
What's kind of weird, he says it to Zach. Is he like all white guys when they find out have a black friend?
Oh, no.
They try and become.
And it is 1993.
Yeah.
No, I don't. I think they do try and sort of promote this thing that Alpha's really trying to like bond with the Power Rangers. I think he's just trying to get them teenage vibe, lingo of those kids.
That's fine. I can get on board with that.
So then we cut to Rita, quite an aggressive. Oh, we've only got 20 minutes. Let's cut to this. And Rita's plan for the week, as we discussed, is she's going to trap him in a teleport, just like I did Zordon.
Yeah. So we're going to transport them into Zordon. There's a model of a plane.
Yeah.
Not a plane, a space shuttle, like a space shuttle.
And she sends it down to Angel Grove.
Yeah.
But it's actually very noticeably Japan.
Yeah, this is old Japanese footage.
Yeah. And I think that's why it doesn't quite match up, because they're sending down this space shuttle, and then it lands somewhere, and then it drives around a lot, and then it stops and opens the timer.
Well, here's the thing. What I thought they were going to do with the space shuttle, because obviously in the previous episode 1, she obviously transformed everything into a much bigger thing. So I just thought it was a space shuttle that's small because they don't have a lot of space in their moon flat. and then once it's travelling to the place, you're just going to expand it there and then just crash the space shuttle into the Power Rangers and kill them.
I really like the idea of Rita going to, like, as soon as she escapes from the dumpster, going, wow, I need to get an apartment, I need to get a flat, and gets like a space age estate agent.
Realtor.
Realtor.
We're trying to break the American market.
Yeah. But I like the idea she gets one of those and like, oh, this is a lovely antique palace, very spacious, lots of room for your miniature space shuttles.
Now, what we've got here is a real fixer-upper, I like to call it.
Yeah.
It's got a lot of room for improvement. You know, it's very cosy. I think we can all agree, very cosy for the 5 of you.
There's no draft on the moon, always a plus.
No oxygen, but...
Can't win them all. Very good price for this area.
Yeah.
Not a lot of neighbours, don't have to worry about them, apart from that Armstrong pick coming along and taking these steps.
They're the real villains, aren't they? The
Realtors.
The estate agents. Like, they'd sell you a flat on the moon, they wouldn't need to breathe there.
They really missold Rita.
Yeah,
That flat.
I think that's why she's so angry. I think she's just been missold. She's playing through the ears for 1 up, 2 down. I don't know what that means. Screw it, we're never going to own houses. we're of the millennial generation.
And we've decided to go into acting, where we've got sufficient free time to record a podcast which takes 293 episodes and 2 movies.
Yeah, I should probably focus on that a bit, shouldn't I?
We should get jobs and buy a house, shouldn't we? On the moon with sweet Rita.
Ah, sweet Rita. But before that, she creates the monster of the week. So Finster, he's like the arty, creative type who's just got a shit ton of clay lying about.
He's probably my favourite of her minions. I really like him.
Yeah, he's pretty fun. I mean, they're great designs, character designs. They're fantastic. But he's creating. He's created actually hundreds. It looks like.
No, because he's probably only been out of that dumpster for a week, and he's created hundreds of these little monsters.
He's probably had loads of just like ideas floating around his head. They just need to get out.
Been in that dumpster for 10,000 years, going, oh God, what about an octopus pineapple monster? Actually happened. Didn't make that up. Yeah, look forward to that.
Oh, excellent.
So what do you think of Bones?
He looked like Skeletor crossed with Zorro.
That's actually really on point. That's really, really great.
So
big hat, skeleton, big cape.
Yeah, it was the cape and the hat made him look like Zorro, and it was also kind of, he had the, did you ever play the video game Medieval?
Yeah, I played it a couple of times.
Yeah, so
that
kind of
vibe.
that kind of vibe going on about it.
And I think for a kid's show, he is quite frightening looking. Like just the right level of frightening.
Yeah. And he was a very pretty good monster, actually. I've not really got a lot bad to say about him.
Bones definitely, all his bits are the highlight of this episode for me, for sure. So Finster makes Bones, and Rita is quite impressed.
So they've sculpted him out of clay. Rita's overjoyed, and they put them in the Monster-matic.
Were you happy with the Monster-matic this week? Because last week you were unenthused.
Well, I was unenthused by the mould making process last time because you've got props people who know how to use moulds and they used fake moulds that didn't actually use the mould. It didn't make any sense.
But the bones mould, happy with that?
Well, because it wasn't a mould, it was handcrafted. It was more artisan. It was like a coffee from an independent chain as opposed to Starbucks.
It's the hipster underdog. He's even got a wee bandana.
He does. And he's got a top knot underneath.
Do you know what? I think he legitimately does.
Fantastic, excellent. But yeah, they put them in the monster. Bones.
Yep.
Bony boy in the Monster-matic, and it's got a power setting.
Has got a power setting, which I'm a fan of, and you're not.
No, I'm not. It doesn't make any sense. Why would you have because surely when you're creating a monster, you either want the monster to be really monstrous, as you're creating a monster,
or
nothing.
Don't bother.
Just don't bother. Like, why would you? Surely it's just an on-off situation.
It was
what's going to happen if you have him half baked? Is he going to come out slightly unmonstrous in weird cold pockets halfway through? Do you have to take him out and stir him and then put him back in?
See, I like it because I think for the putties, for instance, having lots and lots of low power foot soldiers is quite good.
Why?
Well, because if you've got, say, maybe they have like a limited power source, because it's all drawn from magic, right? So maybe like lots and lots of putties take up very little magic, so you can have loads and loads of those. Whereas if you had like lots of strong putties, you maybe only get like 2 of them.
Yeah, but again, even if let's take that as a given, let's say that that's true. Why would you not always create the big monster you're making always on high power?
Maybe this is the first time they'd ever tried to push it up that high. Like they were going, I don't know if we could, like, you know when you've got a car that you kind of go, I wonder if we can push another 10 mile an hour out of this. Oh, the engine.
Do you reckon it's like violence out? But this one goes to 11. It's one louder.
Let's give it, oh my God, let's give it a whirl.
It was just a bit odd. It was fine.
I think they were trying to set the stakes high.
Yeah, it was fine. It just.
But you get the picture, Bones is really strong.
Yes, exactly.
Has a lovely hat.
But then they send the spaceship down to Earth. As you said, it goes through downtown Tokyo.
It's a Japanese district in Angel Grove, which apparently we're going to have.
I mean, how big is Angel Grove? Because for a small town, it's got a lot of districts of Japanese culture.
Yeah, I think this bit in particular is, I don't know a lot about the Sentai TV show. I've never watched it other than little clips here and there. But from what I understand...
Stephen, I refuse to believe you've never watched hentai.
Which one's hentai? Is that
It's the anime porn.
That's what I thought, okay. Not my bag, Rob, not my bag.
Listeners, if it's your bag, please tweet Stevie Laugh.
Yeah, send me some recommendations, I'll give it a whirl. Yeah, from what I understand, the Sentai footage of this little space shuttle is completely different. It's completely unrelated to what they reappropriate it for in this. But yeah, it's a bit weird. It's all these people running away from a tiny little spaceship.
Yeah, it was just very bizarre. Especially in terms of just the logic of it. Logic. Please just be logical with these storylines. I don't mind how weird it is, but it's got to have its own internal. It's got to make sense in some way.
Yeah, in the universe. Yeah, in the universe. It has to have rules.
Because like Rita, we proved last week, she can magic something on the Earth from her position on the moon.
Yeah.
Why can't she just magic a portal?
Yeah.
Directly. Why does she have to put the magic technology of creating a time warp into a mini spaceship of all things? Where did she get the spaceship?
Maybe the astronauts released her, maybe she kidnapped them and reappropriated them into some evil thing.
And then she shrunk it.
Yeah, maybe.
Exactly.
Maybe she sacrificed them to open the time warp. Maybe that's how it works.
I don't know. But yeah, so why could she not just create the portal on Earth? Why does she need this thing? Or why could she not just send it down with Bones? Why did she have to send it down to one point and then have it drive along the street? Why couldn't she just send it directly from where she wanted to go?
Maybe it's like Ryanair. Like she was just like budget time warp, so she was like, I need it in the centre of Angel Grove, but it's actually more magically efficient and cheaper for me to send it to the outskirts of Little Japan, Angel Grove, and then just get a bus, coach, travel across.
You really want to defend Power Rangers, don't you?
Try my best.
Okay.
Not Ryanair though.
But that's fine. But then the putty, as the Power Rangers are they leaving Zorlons?
They're in the command centre, and then Rita sends on the putties to as a distraction.
Yes.
While the time warp's being set up.
Yes. So the putty patrol are there with the waka waka.
They're less intimidating in this episode, I think. Again, the tone of this episode is a little off.
Yeah, they were very. What I've got written down here, they're Bill and Ben-esque.
They are a bit Teletubbies or something like that. Like
I've got Teletubbies written down. It's nonsense language. It's like scat.
So the Power Rangers go down to fight them, and Jason rightly goes, we can't morph, we should try and uphold rule number 1 of not escalating the fight, which I thought was a nice little continuity.
That's fine. I like they're actually using that. That's fine.
So they try and fight them, but unfortunately at this stage in the show they didn't have fight choreographers, because again they hadn't really established their tone. And they thought, we've got martial artists, we'll just let them kind of make it up. But they had obviously never seen Power Rangers, so they didn't know what the Power Ranger tone was. So the fight is just, it's not great.
No, it's not. Well, so
character-wise, I actually quite like the way it's driven though, because Jason and Zach in particular are like, boom, we're ready to go. Cool, we're used to this now.
Fighters, they know how to fight.
And Kimberly
gives it a good go.
And she does pretty well.
She's a gymnast. She's pretty physical.
More confidence.
I don't understand, because why do I keep forgetting her name?
Trini.
I want to say Kimmy for some reason.
I wish I could think of some kind of
I don't know.
way for you to just remember it.
Yeah, I'm just going to remember. Trini, she does like Tai Chi and whatnot.
Yeah, well, basically, Jason says, because there's a lot of putties, he says, you two, knowing that Billy's not the strongest fighter, he wants Billy to kind of go with Trini to sort of split the putties up a bit. So Billy runs off, and I think Trini goes with him to sort of keep him safe.
Yeah.
But Billy climbs up a cliff to get away from the putties, like your standard kind of cartoon creature running away from like a tiger or something. Climb up higher. They can climb. They can climb.
They can definitely climb.
Unfortunately, though, Trini
is hiding behind a rock, and she does the Frodo thing from Lord of the Rings, where they're all hiding from the ring wraiths. The puppies are literally just above them, but she's hiding behind a rock, and then they see Billy running up the cliff, running up this kind of shallow inclined cliff.
Yeah.
And she's like, no, Billy, don't climb. Oh no.
Again, projecting her fears on Billy.
Yeah, really just. Come on, stop being such a weenie, help out.
But Billy does get himself into some kind of danger, I guess, because when he gets to the top of that cliff, he can't really fight. He gets out his morpher, drops his
morpher. Who do we know like that?
Don't know, Rob. Definitely not you.
Yeah. So she goes to save him. She said, she sucks up, so, okay, right, I'm going to...
Power of friendship.
Yeah, exactly, perfect.
And she gets up and she stands in front of Billy, like in the sort of like martial arts, ready, come at me, bro. I think that's the technical term. But
I love that she there's the journey of her kind of getting over climbing these rocks, but they shoot it on this like one section where it's particularly horizontal.
Yeah.
So everything, it looks like you're just walking flat.
Yeah.
Really.
Do you know, like have you seen them making a Star Wars Episode 1, where Ewan McGregor's holding on to the bit at the end, like Darth Maul's chucked him off, and like that big silo thing. He's holding on to that, but they obviously filmed it just on a flat thing, so it's just Ewan McGregor just lying on his tummy going, oh! It looks sort of like that kind of filmmaking, but not even as good as that.
Do you know what it was? So she's climbing really slowly up this evidently very easy thing to climb up. It's like wrestling when they've got a ladder match. And all these incredibly fit men suddenly get muscular dystrophy when they're faced with a ladder.
So the superhero, I've got to save my friend, one step at a time.
It made no sense. It was so funny.
Oh, but then she saves the day, the putty flies off the cliff.
She dodges out of the way, and then they say, that was truly morphitudinous.
They're stretching a bit there with morph.
I get it, that's fine, it's going to annoy
because more phenomenal at least has the word phenomenal in it.
It's a pun. Yeah. What words are they combining? Morphitudinous? That's not...
I don't know. I think my vocabulary's reasonably good.
We've got pretty good vocabularies.
We done good, didn't we?
We're pretty good with them words. We can say
Woods. Yeah, I have no idea what they're on about. Really difficult. In the meantime, the Benny Hill weird tone thing I alluded to, Jason goes, so the others are still fighting the putties and they're starting to get into a bit of trouble. The putties start to try and do that Game of Thrones-esque thing where they surround them and squeeze them out.
and attack them. Look, there's a mob of us. Let's attack them slowly, one at a time, so they can back off our defences. So Jason gets...
He says, let's make a human chain. And I don't think either Kimberly or Zach have ever seen what a human chain is, because...
Well, the human chain is like linking arms.
Yeah.
Like what he does, he gets Kimberly's legs around his head, and he gets...
And Zach's also on his shoulders as well.
And they and then they spin round, so it's like the Benny Hill ladder spot where they all race up and they all get hit. They get hit into cactuses and whatnot.
Absolutely bizarre. So then they defeat the putties with this awesome martial arts move.
And they all go running off because they all got kicked into cactuses and they're like picking cactus leaves out their butts.
It's awful. Two like really music. Oh, it's awful. It's just, I mean, even me as like staunch, nostalgic tinted glasses Power Ranger fan, it's pretty bad.
I've just got here. This show is worse than Teletubbies because as they were running away, it was like the Teletubbies going away at the end of a long day.
Would you rather review 293 episodes of Teletubbies?
There are 293 episodes of Teletubbies.
Thank God. We're not doing that.
No, we're not.
But then Zordon calls him and says, "Oh, well done! You defeated. You had another victory, and you worked as a team. Special congratulations to you, Tweenie, for overcoming your fears." Which was quite nice. It was quite a nice, like, rounding, tying up the ends of the episode, except we're about halfway through.
Yeah, it's not the end. It seemed like they had 3 ideas for half a story.
Yeah. Writing a whole load of things in the Power Ranger writing studio, writing loads of things on that whiteboard and then going, that'll do.
Yeah.
But this is my problem with it. I feel like certain elements in this episode, the time warp thing, I think that's a really interesting idea, pure execution. The bones thing, I love all the bone stuff. Even the tree height stuff, I think all these things could have been good if they committed to it and expanded one thing. It's why I think it's like Spider-Man 3. Like, I love that. Sandman in that movie. I'm not going to defend Spider-Man 3 as a good movie.
I mean, it's better than this.
Like the Sandman stuff in that movie is really good. He's got that sick daughter or daughter in trouble with the mafia or something wrong with the daughter. I think she's sick. And
there was an oxygen tank.
But he's quite interesting and stuff, but they only use him for half a minute or so. And then
long enough to show everything off. But
then they go, what you really want is Venom.
And you want Peter Parker dancing. You don't like what you like.
You want Cowabunga surfing Green Goblin guy who heel turns and face turns and heel turns and face turns. He's the big show of Spider-Man.
Yeah. But then, speaking of Bones, as soon as that happens, that's gotta be Bones. He's there.
Do you know what time it is, Rob?
Is it morphin time?
It's morphin time.
Yes.
So they all morph, and this bit I love. So they go and they teleport to the Meat Bones at the fairground. Wouldn't it be awesome having the Power Rangers fight at the fairground? Because the fights in these episodes tend to be the most fun part. Oh, them fighting on a Ferris wheel, fighting on like bumper cars. That'd be awesome.
But no, immediately they just leave the fairground because Bones has such power where he can move his head, he throws up in the air, and his head has like projects things out, and he basically can access the time warp and suck them into it.
Which I think that would have been a really useful thing for the Power Rangers to know before fighting Bones. And Zordon, to be fair, does prepare them for what Bones' powers are. He says, "Be careful, he can fire lasers out of his eyes and jump long distances."
If I may. Hello, you can fire.
Oh, Gandalf the Crack Wizard. Oh, it's you.
You can fire laser beams from your eyes, and not the Power Ranger Bones, though. He can do that, and he can also jump a great distance. And he's also very good at opening the time warp.
No, don't mention that. Cheers, Zordon.
No? Okay, fuck it. Well, I guess I got bad signal. They didn't hear that. Shit.
Zordon doesn't really, he just goes, and he probably has something to do with that time thing. But then Bones exhibits all these really cool powers that would be really useful to know about. For instance, when the Power Rangers get sucked into the Time Warp and they're fighting Bones, Jason dives into the fray, starts attacking Bones, and they've got like these little blade blaster swords, which I think are really cool. And then he sort of distracts Bones and he goes, "Alright guys, fire!" And they turn their swords into little guns and they all open fire on Jason and Bones.
Friendly fires off.
They've just turned it off on options.
Yeah,
fine.
it's off on options. They've got unlimited ammo as well.
That's great, cool. But then Bones, destroy him, job done. But oh no!
His head's still intact. He's a pile of bones on the floor, but he can reassemble himself as long as the head is intact.
Damn it, Zordon!
The other thing,
why didn't you tell us?
You know how Zordon says, well, yes, you can jump very large distance.
How does that help?
Well, it wouldn't help because he can also fly.
Do you reckon Zordon's just phoning it in this episode?
Yeah.
Along with Steve Kramer, the writer.
Oh, Steve, we'd love to have you on the show, though.
Yeah, please come and defend yourself.
Please come to Haringey Greenlands.
So they, while they're fighting and being preoccupied with Bones, Rita sends down Squash and Babu, who are the Balkan skull of her workforce. She sends them down to blow up the Time Warp.
To blow up the not blow up the Time Warp. They're sent to blow up the space shuttle that controls the Time Warp. So because obviously they're on the bad side of the Time Warp. So once that shuttle's blown up, they won't have a way out.
Then they'll be in a tube like Zordon, presumably.
Exactly. Does that tube get explained at some point?
It's just that he's in a Time Warp, and then they've created this tube so that he can still have some form of manifestation in the physical world still. So he's not physically in the tube, except in the movie when he is. But the movie, don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it, it'll hurt your head.
Just don't think about it, just enjoy the sparkly colours. But how do they destroy try and destroy the shuttle, the trap range, whatever?
TNT with the classic long
fuse.
And they're
the long dick dastardly and motley
fuse.
fuse.
This entire thing that is essentially reliant on matches.
Surely she could get some kind of Zippo at least?
Well, she has power of magic. Just
fireball!
Flame!
And also, they're quite clumsy in the back.
I guess it's the slapstick thing. It came back again and again. Is this a common theme with these crescents? Are they?
With Squat and Babu, yeah.
Okay.
But not with the rest of it. But at the end of the day, Tweenie leaps and grabs Bones' head and wraps it up in the cape. And as that little woman in Incredibles would say, no capes.
No capes.
No capes.
Got sucked into a lava pit.
And she throws Bones' head down into some chasm, lava pit thing. She looks straight down there, clearly that fear height's gone, so that's a lot higher than the gentle rise that she climbs with Billy.
Horizontal rock. Yeah.
And then Rita, sensing that the battle is going astray, this is when she panics. This is her oregano in the pot moment.
Yeah.
So what does she, do you remember what she does?
I can't remember exactly what, but I kind of zoned out for like 10 seconds, and then suddenly there's a giant knight fighting.
She just goes, send down the giant! And they get that off the ground pretty fucking quick.
I know. Why would you not just get all these things and go hell for leather all at once? Like everything always on the maximum cinematic setting.
So the giant comes around and immediately punches through the time warp. That's kind of cool as a power. I'm going to punch into another dimension.
Well, it is. Except for the fact they're still in the time warp.
Yeah, again she panicked, didn't she?
Like, they're still in the time warp. Just
again
finish and blow it up, because they don't actually know how to get out, because Bones has control over the time warp. He's out. They don't know how to get out. They're probably going to take a little bit of time to figure it out. So just...
I think the inference is that once Bones has gone at the time warp, they'll just get out.
Okay.
I think that. But that's what the giant punches and grabs Jason. But Jason's still little and the giant is, what's his namesake? A giant. He's pretty big.
I'm going to say that wasn't really Jason in the giant's hand. I'm going to say that was a man with a Power Rangers toy. Call me crazy.
Rob, you're ruining the illusion. You go around telling kids that Santa's not real and Snape killed Dumbledore.
Actually, speaking of Hogwarts,
which we were.
I know the biggest problem with Rita.
What's that?
Rita is a Slytherin with Hufflepuff henchmen.
That is so on point.
I know.
I think maybe Goldar's maybe a Slytherin.
Yeah, maybe.
But the rest are definitely Hufflepuff. Well, maybe Finch would be Ravenclaw.
Is he quite clever?
He makes bones out of clay. And makes...
Yeah, but pottery, that's such a Hufflepuff thing.
Gryffindor, the brave. Slytherin, the slime. Ravenclaw, the smart. Hufflepuff, the
Potter.
Ironically, it's the
Potters. Yeah, so there's a giant monster schmoz.
He grabs Jason in his hand.
Jason has his laser.
Oh no, our house is burning down.
Hang on, we're just going to go check on that.
Alright, now that's what I call power. Let's kick some giant. Whoa, more.
Okay, back from that brief break where our house burnt down.
We're on the streets now.
We're on the streets. It's all good. Where were we?
So, the giant just punched through another dimension, grabs Jason.
Yes.
Or a toy Jason.
Toy Jason. Jason has the dagger, the laser dagger.
Yeah, he's got his little red dagger. The other Power Rangers we're sort of at a quarry now, I think, again. Angel Grove Quarry, see a lot of that. I think this part of the episode as well is actually quite good in that the false perspective shots in this are really good. That you've got sort of like the giant's foot really close to the camera and the Rangers obviously in the distance, and it looks like they're in this huge giant, fighting this huge giant. And you've got Jason in the hand, and I think it all looks quite good. And considering it's 1993 and doing on a shoestring budget, I think really good.
Yeah, I mean, in fairness, do you know how I know you're kind of on the right track? Because I didn't actually notice. Which is the thing you want with that false perspective. You don't want to notice it's there.
Do you know what? I mean, I said this before when we were recording, but I think this is worthy of Peter Jackson himself.
I wouldn't go that far.
It's
worthy of The Hobbit.
That's a backhanded compliment.
Yeah.
Still nominated for an Oscar or two, wasn't it? Pity Oscars?
Pity Oscars.
I think the Ed Sheeran song got nominated for an Oscar, and that was good.
Yeah, it's all political.
All political.
All political. That's why we haven't been nominated.
Oscars, if you want to give us an Oscar.
Then put us in a movie first.
Yeah, do you know what? We'll take any Oscar. I'll take Best Supporting Actress. I'll take that. Take Sound Edit. Take that.
You could get that.
I'm fucking kidding me.
I mean, listeners have no idea how much work goes into editing this.
A lot of work. Usually just edit and like you falling over things.
But basically, he eventually gets out of the grasp of Jason. He eventually gets out of the grasp. The giant.
The giant. He just keep it simple.
Yeah, he gets out of the grasp with his laser sword, and he gets his Zord.
Yeah, he calls for the Tyrannosaurus. This week we don't get Megazord. How did you feel about that?
I feel like if they were going to do it, they should have had them all fight separately in the first episode,
and
then
build
have
up.
them join up in future episodes. This just feels like a step backward. It feels less impressive.
Sure, I can understand that. For me, it was quite nice, given that, I mean, I've seen so many Megazord battles, because usually they get quite lazy with it and they just go immediately to Megazord, violating that escalating the battle rule in some regards.
Some would say.
Some would say. Not me, though. Love it. But I think that if you're going to go with one Zord, Tyrannosaurus is the best one to go with. It's the most exciting. I mean, just even look at the formation of the Megazord. The Tyrannosaurus is about 90% of it. Like, you look at the poor old Billy, he's essentially a shoe.
Is he?
Yeah, the saber-toothed tiger, and it's kind of like the Tyrannosaurus forms, and then all the others are sort of like armor for the Tyrannosaurus.
Okay.
Like, Zach, actually, to be fair, he's the arms.
Okay.
Kimberly's pterodactyl is like a chest plate.
Yes.
But Billy and Trini's Triceratops and saber-toothed tiger are just the boots.
Great boots, though.
Oh, made for walking and kicking and... I never thought I'd get a Jessica Simpson reference into this.
I mean, it's a cover, mate.
Yeah, but Jessica Simpson's barrel went. How wrong is that?
And then they fight, and I don't have any notes for this. I've just written, let's sell some toys.
I think this fight was quite enjoyable, but at this stage in the
not as
episode, I
good.
kind of tapped out.
Yeah, too much has happened. I was kind of...
And I'm not invested in the giant. The giant, I only saw him 30 seconds ago.
If it had been a giant bones...
Oh, giant bones.
Giant bones would have been great.
Oh, yeah.
Like, especially if it had transformed in some sort of way, like got armour or
even, imagine
a fancier cape.
Imagine if the... because last week we had the Chekhov gun of the power sword, and we didn't get to use it. And this week we don't get it. But imagine Megazord forms and they use the power sword and Bones just rebuilds himself again. That'd be really fun and stakes would be high, but maybe episode 2 is too early for that. So that's why we get this kind of non-villain with the giant and it's just easily defeated.
I feel like it's getting very formulaic already, and I've only seen 2 episodes, albeit 3 times.
But Jason, pretty much, he destroys it pretty much straight off the bat. There's some cool, little sort of swings of the Tyrannosaurus tail and a little bit of a smoz, but it's pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Not before Jason looks down lovingly at Zack and is like, how am I doing, Zack? And Zack's like, yeah, you go, Jace. I love you.
Yeah, he wasn't as bland this episode. He was a bit arrogant at times.
Ooh. So he's got, admittedly, a negative character trait, but a character trait. That's exciting.
A bit of one, not a full one. Yeah, but he was very much like, I think it's probably them trying to experiment once again. But he was very. He needed a lot of bigging up. He's saying, "Hey, aren't I great? Aren't I great?
Aren't I great? Guys, am I doing a good job?
Don't worry.
Guys.
Hey, don't worry. I'm going to climb this rope, no problem."
Do I look fat in my spandex?
Exactly.
Am I okay?
Yeah. Well, he wasn't neurotic, but he definitely had.
Yeah, sure. I think positive points from this episode, and there's not many, but I would say that Jason, I think there's subtle nods to the fact that maybe he's growing into his role as a leader. Because last week they were all a bit of a shambles and just kind of bumbling around and hoping for the best. But Jason this week, he was like, Billy and Trini, you go over there, spread out the putties. Zack will take these guys. Kim, you take those guys. He immediately jumps in to try and distract Bones while the others friendly fire on him.
Yeah.
He's the one who calls the dinosaur, and he's the one who dispatches the giant. I think we're sort of setting up Jason a little bit here as growing into his leadership.
Yeah. Did he get appointed as leader, or is he just taken it upon himself?
Zordon gives him the leadership, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
So otherwise I was going to say, wow.
Oh, do you think this episode would just be, Shotgun, I'll defeat Bones.
He's Hermione did. I can do it.
And then that's kind of it.
That's
then
it.
We go back to the juice bar.
We're back to the juice bar school, and people are now aware of the
this
Power
is
Rangers.
interesting. Yes.
You have,
forgot about that.
You have supporting artist number 1 and featured artist.
Ernie,
extra.
Ernie, the owner of the juice bar.
Oh,
yeah.
is he actually a character?
Yeah. He's the big guy in the Hawaiian shirt. Is the owner of the juice bar.
Well, he says, yeah, there was this guy, and he came down, and they fought this swamp monster, and they were calling themselves the Power Rangers.
That's cool. They're getting media attention. The world in the Power Rangers universe is aware of the Power Rangers now. It's quite exciting for the future episodes, you know?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of the standard superhero thing. Like, people will eventually kind of become aware of you, and then you've got the relationship with the media and so forth. Which is actually, if Power Rangers gets done right in the movie, which it probably won't, I always like how they portray the media these days, because the media's fucked. Could be quite an interesting little... Probably not, because it's just a nostalgia cash.
Do you know, I've actually got a bit, I mean, we'll top this there, I've got a bit high hopes for it. But yeah, I think that was one of the bits that old Steve Kramer, our Writer of the Year nominee, I think that's one of the little bits that is showing a little bit of forethought into sort of like planning for the future and going, they are aware that the Power Rangers are a thing. I think that's quite good.
Yeah. But that's pretty much it. Apart from fantastic joke, which is dated so badly, which is...
Hit me.
I can't remember who says it now.
Kimberly.
Is it Kimberly?
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yep.
Okay. She says, when they're talking about the communicators, they're like, this is so 90s.
Oh, which
Which is something we'd say about the Power Rangers in general now.
Do you reckon Kimberly's some like Elrond-esque elf with the gift of foresight, and she's like, people watching this on Netflix in their mid-20s will be thinking, this is so 90s?
No.
That'd be good though, wouldn't it?
It would be good. It would be a great... imagine a Power Rangers Lord of the Rings crossover.
Oh, got like a flashback, and like Kimberly's at the battle against Sauron, and she's just worried about her hair because of the breeze from Mount Doom.
Yeah.
Oh god!
It's in a helmet, so it's crushed anyway, so it doesn't matter at that point.
Oh, it'd be really hot in Mordor in a Power Rangers outfit, wouldn't it? Sweaty.
Sweaty.
Oh.
That spandex, like, it's not all breathe. One thing to say about elven armour, it breathes.
Breathes well, doesn't it?
Breathes
Those
well.
elves.
Spandex and kind of PVC, not so much.
Not so much. But we tie up the episode with a very brief Trini's over fear of
Yes.
heights.
So I can't. How do they get into this?
So you're standing
she's
at the
saying-
bottom of the rope.
Yeah, she's saying, yeah, it'd be surprising what you have to do when you what you can do when you
Are forced to.
But she's like, well, that's not really overcoming your fear. That's just saying, I mean, I was made to do this thing. I still don't like it, and I still fear it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's many deceased stowaways on pirate ships who are thinking, oh god, it's amazing what you can do when you're told to walk the plank into piranhas, isn't it? Oh,
I managed to do it.
oh I did it! Go me! Oh, what a positive moral.
Piranhas because I'm dead.
Uh,
But yeah, so she's saying that, and then Zach, the Joker of the group.
your romance crush.
Oh, he's so good. He's the best actor. He comes up behind them in a skull mask.
Which I think might be one of the masks left over from Bones' minions. I think it's one of the same masks.
Or is that who he'd take?
It's kind of bad taste, isn't it?
What? Oh, is Zach some sort of lunatic? He's with his laser knife. Has he decapitated one of Bones' henchmen, taken it home, skinned it, and is he wearing some sort of Bones henchman face mask as like a prize for his victory?
So he puts on the mask and sneaks up behind Trini, who kind of understandably sort of shits herself a bit and clambers up the rope.
Yeah.
But isn't that awful?
Yeah.
Now imagine if you'd just been through a traumatic experience involving, I don't know, a dolphin, and then I crept into your room dressed as a psychopathic dolphin with a dolphin head on. You'd be really scared, wouldn't you? It'd be really bad taste. It'd be really horrible of me to do that.
It would be.
I'm going to do it. Have you ever had a traumatic experience involving a dolphin?
No.
Oh, what a shame. And that's the episode.
That's the episode. Yeah. So starring.
Oh, we're going to do a star rating?
Well, we said we were last week, so.
So is 5 stars more phenomenal, or is 5 stars woeful?
Well, so
That's
if I was
doesn't work
grading
that
this against regular TV, everything would be minus stars.
Oh, Rob. Not everything, you don't know.
But no, so I'm taking it based upon. Obviously, I've only seen 2 episodes. So, if last episode,
I might give...
out of 5, what would you have given the last episode, for example?
3.5.
Okay, I was thinking 3. I
that's
give
good.
this a 1,
A 1, that bad?
or maybe a 0.5.
Oh. See, I'm not going to go that low for 2 reasons. I really...
It gets worse.
What I was going to say...
We've got to have somewhere to go.
I really like Bones.
Yes, I like Bones.
And yeah, it gets a lot worse at times.
Yeah.
So I'm going to give it 2 stars.
Okay, I'm giving it 1.
Okay.
Giving it 1, and I don't. You know our rule where I'm like a touchstone for all the audience. Like,
Yes, you're the canary down the mine.
Yeah, you don't have to watch this episode.
You don't have to watch this episode.
You don't. Like
Okay.
the only thing.
Tell us what we need to know.
The only thing you get from this is the communicators. And I think if you jumped into an episode in future where they have a communicator between them, you think, oh, fair, that's a communicator.
That's how they get everything else. Oh, that's a power sword.
Yeah, you don't need it at all.
Yeah.
Like Bones, good villain, underused.
Underused.
He was.
We should start some kind of Bones fan club.
Yeah, I feel like it'd be as.
Justice for Bones. Let's start a petition. No, they always get far, don't they? Let's get some signatures. Petition Parliament. More Bones in that episode from 25 years ago.
I don't think you know how petitions work.
No, I don't really. I just signed them willy-nilly.
Yeah.
Have we got a
You
Brexit
bloody
yet?
lefty. Yeah, so you don't need to watch this episode at all.
Yeah, I would agree that this episode is distinctly skippable, and I also think that actually
it's a mess of an episode. It's got no coherent storyline. I mean, even for Power Rangers,
yeah,
it just doesn't work.
and I think that because they haven't quite found their feet yet with the tone, that doesn't quite work. There are moments in this that I do really like, but I would concur. I think this is a skip.
Yeah,
This is a skip. But good news, Rob. Next week, we're looking at episode. Should we do episode 3 and 4 next week?
I think we should. I think cause I don't.
They're much neater episodes next week.
Yeah, as long as we can. Yeah, because obviously we don't want to give too much audio gold away to our listeners. I think we can condense some of it and drip feed it to them.
I think this episode would have been tough to do that because there's so much going on. This is like 3 episodes, but next week, the next 2 episodes are much more concise. And the next, episode 3 in particular, is one that I've got quite a lot of nostalgia for. I really like it. It's a good episode. And I have a feeling you might well enjoy it more than this.
Hey, do you like getting kicked in the balls? No? Well, guess what? You'll love not getting kicked in the balls.
All right. I think that's about it, isn't
That's
it?
a wrap. Let's hope that this is the last time we record this episode.
I hope so. Hope this isn't our life now. Just let's do high five again.
Groundhog daying.
By the end of
Stephen,
it.
we didn't open our beers.
Oh, we didn't open our book. We'll save them for next week. We won't. We'll drink them after
We'll
this.
drink
Won't
them
really
after
get over
this,
this.
probably, yeah.
Rob, where can people find you?
They can find me on the Twitter.
Haringey Greenlace.
I don't want the adoring public to start stalking me. I'll get papped, Stephen. I'll get papped.
If you want to get involved, you can send us a wee comment. You can tweet us. Where can people find you, Rob?
You can tweet me at Robert Bolton.
And you can tweet me at Stevie Lav.
Yeah, Twitter, Instagram, all that stuff.
All that stuff.
Twitter's probably easiest.
Yeah, you can find us now on iTunes. Ooh, Apple have let us in.
Yeah, other podcast devices are available.
Like
such as
SoundCloud. We're on there for you
on there.
Android guys.
Is that how they do it?
I think
don't
so.
know.
I don't really understand.
I don't understand.
That barren world. They're like the elephant graveyard to our Pride Rock.
For someone who's so anti-corporate, you're very Apple Pro.
I love those guys.
You fucking hypocrite. Yeah, let us know what you think. If you know.
We're open to suggestions,
Open to
comments,
suggestions.
as long as they're nice and not hurtful. Because if they're hurtful, we'll hunt you down. We will find you, and we will get a power sword.
In all seriousness, though, if you do have something very hurtful to say and you do want to send it in because I'll probably read it out anyway and it'll be quite funny.
Yeah, that'd be all right. Just hurt our feelings, why not?
Yeah, screw it. I think that's it.
Yeah, that's it. Enjoy your week, and we'll see you next week for some more spandex-clad fun. See you later, Rob.
Was that a come on?
Oh, might have been. By the firelight.
No, not there.
Let's do the time warp again.